Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So allow me to explain how I'm going to be reviewing Season 10. I intend to post 3 reviews. So this is the first of the reviews. It's not really formal, it's just casual, unscripted, just talking about whatever, and it's on the same day as the season's end. Then we'll also be posting my Let's Look Back special, which is typically a special that I do at the end of the season. It's a lot more formal, and we just talk about stuff. And yeah, and then also in a few months from now, I'm hoping that I can post a retrospect review on this because, opinions do change over time, and that'll give me more time to just think about stuff, think about the season, and come to a conclusion on what my thoughts are. But yeah, so we are talking about Season 10, and I just want to share my thoughts on the season. So I do feel like, I'm going to say this right away, I feel like the season was way too short. And I understand why they made it this short. It was so it could line up, so the finale could be the 100th episode. And it's the 10th season as well, so, but I feel like it was too short to do anything, really. And, seasons such as Rebooted and Day of the Departed really suffered from this as well. And Rebooted is double the length of this season, so that's really saying something. And this season felt incredibly rushed, especially episodes 95 and 98 were definitely really rushed. Both of these 2 episodes especially felt very, very rushed. Now, I also feel like the inclusion of subplots, such as the Jay and Nia yin-yang plot, it was very cute, it was charming, but it was also very cliched, and it wasn't really needed. I don't think it really fit with the rest of the season, and it didn't really add much to the season either. I think it should have been taken out. Again, it was really cute, but didn't really offer that much. Yeah, so that's pretty much all. And also, I do feel like we didn't really learn much about the Oni. I mean, I guess we had learned more about the Oni in the past 2 seasons. We learned that they were in the Departed realm and they're coming and invading all these realms. So we did learn that. We learned more about their powers, the whole shadow tentacle idea. That was very cool, I will just say. And yeah, we learned that, but we didn't really learn any backstory this season. This is the first season, I think, not to actually include any form of backstory. So yeah. I do want to talk about the Omega a little bit. The Omega is supposed to be the main villain of this season. And sadly, I think the Omega is probably my least favorite Ninjago villain. Except for Yang, of course, but I tend not to really count Yang because, Day of the Departed is a 44-minute special, not officially recognized as a season. But I do feel like the Omega really did have potential. He was interesting. He kind of was interesting. I liked some of the stuff that he did. He kind of has a relationship with Garmadon almost. He understands that Garmadon is not a full Oni, and he kind of taunts Garmadon sometimes. Especially that 1v1 in episode 98, where he pointed out that Garmadon doesn't really have the heart of an Oni. But I really think in the end that he is underdeveloped. And to be fair, you can't really do much with a villain in 4 episodes. I mean, Iron Baron had 9 episodes, but he still suffered from being underdeveloped. The case with the Omega, sadly, is much worse because he's just very generic. He's just evil, he's just hostile, and that's all there really is. He is a conqueror. He kind of has a connection with Garmadon, you could almost say, not a connection, but we see him and Garmadon together a lot in the season fighting each other, so that's kind of cool, but other than that, there's nothing really anything cool about Omega. We just know that he's a leader, he has gigantic horns, but other than that, he looks the same as other Oni, and I really do think he had potential, but we didn't really learn anything about him. Is he an Oni warlord? How did he come to power? I mean, I would have loved to learn all of this. Now we're going to talk about some of the good things I liked about this season. The Oni, it was nice to see the Oni actually on screen. I thought it was pretty cool. Just the way they were animated was really lovely. I love the animation and design for the Oni, especially Omega. Omega just looked really intimidating. His on-screen presence, just from an animation point of view, was really, really cool, and I thought that was done amazing. Now, I want to talk about one of my favorite parts of the season, and that is Garmadon. I feel like Garmadon is in one of the best stages that we have ever seen him in this season, and I really loved him in the pilots as well. He was just very mysterious and evil, and I really loved that. And I think in this season, it's very different. He is battling with his emotions. It's kind of like nature versus nurture here. I mean, he was brought back evil. He's pure evil, but he's an individual too, so it's not just genetics, really. And he's struggling to learn what place he really has in the world, and I think that was very cool, his contemplation about survival, but that was sadly ultimately brought to an end when his arc wasn't even concluded yet in Season 10. He just walks away from it all in the end of episode 98, And this leads me to believe that I'm hoping and I think that Garmadon will probably turn good before the series end, or definitely return before the series end. And I'm really hoping that he comes back in season 11 and that they can conclude his arc. And to be completely honest, I'm kind of glad that they didn't conclude his arc in this season because it would have been rushed. It would have been really rushed, actually. His purification, any purification or death, it just would have happened like that, and they would have moved on. I don't think it would have been as meaningful as his last purification was. So I'm kind of glad they didn't, but I just really hope that he will return in the next season, and I hope that they can use a full-length season to resolve his arc. Now, I want to talk about the golden weapons. I think the reintroduction of the golden weapons was interesting. It was a really cool plot point. It ultimately did give the ninja an advantage in episode 98, but other than that, were they really needed in this season? Probably not. I mean, it wasn't like Oni were just like running away from the golden weapons in episode 98. Didn't give them that big of an advantage. At least it didn't seem to be so. The tornado of creation was really cool, but I still don't really know how that defeated all the Oni. It just doesn't make sense, and it just shows that all the ninja's development over the past 9 seasons is kind of for nothing. I mean, the ninja could have done this in the pilots and defeated the Oni. And it just kind of shows that all of their development and training, they just need to do this, and bam, they're all defeated. I mean, not even Golden Power. I mean, I didn't really care about Golden Power, but just bringing it up. Not even Golden Power or any other kind of move or something. Nah, just the Tornado of Creation, which in philosophy is a really complicated move, very powerful. But it was introduced in the very first season of Ninjago, so yeah, I mean, you know, it just goes to show that they could have defeated the Oni in the pilots or season 1 maybe. But yeah, I did find that underwhelming. They're just gone from existence? I don't know. But I really feel like as a legacy season, as the 10th season, as the 100th episode, it did a great job in nostalgia and throwbacks. There were plenty of throwbacks and references in this season. There were a lot of obvious ones, such as the Golden Weapon and the Tornado of Creation, and there were a lot of other smaller references, such as Kai's hand motion in episode 96, and just a lot of that kind of stuff. And I think that was done beautifully. Just all these small little touches, it was done really well. It was a great legacy season. It was great for nostalgia, and that was done really well. But there were things that suffered. I think the forging of the golden weapons, that scene in particular, was very rushed, and I mentioned this in my episode 98 review, but it was essentially like a montage, and I don't think that's good, because this was an opportunity to develop Kai, but instead they just kind of wasted it. They just showed him the quickly forging weapons. They didn't really show his struggle or his conflict or his fear. I think they did waste an opportunity to develop Kai, and I don't think that this scene was really done well. Alternatively, I don't feel like any of the other ninja really did that much. I think the people who had the biggest roles in the season would probably be Cole, Lloyd, of course, because Lloyd steals the show in every season. And yeah, probably those two had the biggest roles. I didn't really understand Cole reading the intro. It just seemed like, oh, this is the Cole season, so don't beg for a Cole season. Yeah, I didn't really understand why Cole read the intro. Would have much rather preferred Wu reading this intro. Because, you know, I rather than just having a random ninja read it, it would make more sense to have Wu read it. But I did think the intro for this season was done beautifully. Again, it's a legacy season, really. It is the 10th season, so I think that was done really well. Now, in the end, I do feel like the season definitely had its fair share of flaws. It was just really short. As a full-length season, though, I think this would have been an amazing season. But sadly, it wasn't. I think all it really needed was 2 more episodes. If it was a 6-episode season, I think it would have been good for the most part. They could have talked more about the Oni. Omega could have been a better villain. I think all it really needed was 2 episodes. But all in all, I feel like the March of the Onis' biggest flaw and what essentially makes it, you know, not what holds it back really is its episode length. And I understand why they wanted to do this, but I don't really think it was a good idea. The writing was great though, and I kind of feel bad that people are gonna brag Mr. Braggy shit based on this 4-episode special. It's not a really good indicator of how good a writer is, and I really urge all of you, like, don't beg for the Hagmans back just because season 10 wasn't what you expected it to be. It's a 4-episode special, and to be honest, I don't think we should have expected this much from it. But yeah, all in all, I think this is my 3rd to least favorite season of Ninjago. I think it was a good season, and even though it is 3rd to least favorite Ninjago season, it goes to show how much I love all the other Ninjago seasons as well. So I would say it's better than Rebooted and Hands of Time and Dave the Departed, of course, but I don't like it more than any of the other seasons. So yeah, these are just my thoughts on Ninjago Season 10, March of the Oni. Be sure to leave your thoughts of the season in the comment sections below. And yeah, that's pretty much all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share with anyone and everyone you know, and I will see you next time.